What's up, you guys? It's Didodi. It's April 30th, and today I wanted to discuss The Ones Who Live. Now, that show has been over for some weeks now, and there were 6 episodes. This is a continuation of the Rick Grimes story from The Walking Dead. And The Walking Dead, that was one of my favorite shows to watch every week. I didn't start watching until the second season. Like, I didn't start watching it on television until the second season. I saw the first season, and it was strange because I remember telling somebody I saw the first season, and I was like, yeah, man, I hadn't seen this show and thought it was great. And this person told me, I showed you that show. I tried to show it to you. You came over here after work, and you said you were tired. You sat on the chair. I sat on the couch. I said, I got to show you something. I turned this show on, and you passed out. And when the show went off, you got up. You said you had to go, and you took off. And I was like, wow. And he insisted. I was like, okay, all right. You showed it to me first, but I ended up seeing it somewhere else. And I watched the first season, and I didn't want to at first, and I watched it, and I loved it. And then the second season came out, and I didn't miss an episode until about season 9. And just every week, all my friends, everybody, we talked about the show. Everybody loved this show. This was like the biggest thing, you know? And after they killed Glenn, they lost about 10 million viewers. I was like, damn. I mean, that day, like right after that, it was like, oh, fuck it. That was too much. Negan came through and just, woo. So after that, people wasn't watching the show as much, but me and my friends were. And you get like to the point where Rick leaves, and then you hear that they're going to do some projects with him later on down the line. And you're waiting for that. And we were waiting for that. We've been waiting for that. And my homeboy that he told me, he showed me the show first. And that was my boy. That was my homeboy. 20 years. You know what I'm saying? My movie homie. Man, like, bro, if I wanted to talk about a movie, or if I just mentioned a movie, he'd be like, hey, what was that movie you mentioned? I was writing a list down of the movies you was telling me. You got a list of the movies I told you about? Man, I went to the house one day. I seen the list on the table. I was like, damn, you really do got a list? Man, the homie, bro. And I remember I hadn't talked to him for a little while. It was like December, and January came, and I was like, man, how's he doing? And he called me, and I missed the call, and I called him back, and he missed my call, and then finally called him and got in touch with him, and we spoke for like 5 seconds, and he said he wasn't feeling too good, he had to get off the phone. And I said, okay, man, because the message had just said he had got out of the hospital. And I was like worried. I was like, man, what was going on? So when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, now I know something was going on. And then we got off the phone, so I was waiting for him to call back the next day. Got a call the next day. It was his brother. And, man, that was it, man. It was like, I'm glad that I actually got to talk to him for even the 5 seconds, But that was my homie, man. I loved him, man. And he was waiting for this show to come out. Well, this happened in January, so the show came out in February, and he didn't get to see it. And I just feel like if he got to see this shit, man, he would have loved it. He would have loved it. Now, I went by the house today, and I was talking to his brother, and got kind of emotional. And his brother, he was just like, man, I'd be thinking about him all the time. I'd be seeing movies and shit, and I'd be like, and we said at the same time, this fool would have loved this shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew, man, I just wanted to stop by because it's his birthday today, and he loved Jason. And I remember when I heard what happened, man, I watched Jason that night because I just was thinking about it. And I was like, man, it's what he, you know, I just had to throw that on, man. And, you know, the movies. That's how we got down, bro. Like the last movie we went to go see was Mario, and we loved that shit for days. We was peaches, peaches, peaches. Like that shit was dope, man. And it was crazy because we often went to the movies and then we leave and I'll be like, I didn't like that shit. And he was like, really? I thought it was cool. Or something like that, vice versa, you know? And then every now and then we would like a movie, but then it was cool. Like the last movie we went to, we both thought it was great, you know? And so when I watched the show, I was like, man, I wish he was here, man. They could have enjoyed this. But then at the same time, I'd be thinking he probably already seen the shit wherever he is. You know what I'm saying? talk to his mother about stuff like that. It's the same things. You know, you never know. So whatever. But it's like I look at the show and I'm like thinking about the other spinoffs, right? The other spinoffs, they haven't been as good. Like this one was pretty well written. I thought that Fear the Walking Dead got better as it went on, and it kind of leveled off around somewhere. But I didn't get to finish that show, so I still have to finish that last season. I didn't care for World Beyond. I really didn't. I tried to watch the same 2 episodes over and over. I can't get past it, and the first 2, and so there's that. Then there was all those webisodes. I like those. I seen a little bit of that one with Terry Crews and Parker Posey. You know, I seen a couple of those. I seen the Alpha. I think I seen all of those. And then Dead City. Dead City was cool. It was all right. You know, it was cool for what it was. And then Daryl's show. So far, I thought that Daryl's show was the one they put the most into, you know, until they did this series, the Rick and Michonne show. Now Rick is back. You know, we was expecting Rick to get 3 movies. You know, he didn't get 3 movies, but he getting his show. And when he came back and he does what he does to himself in that first episode, it's like, damn, you avoided it the whole show, the whole original show. You avoided this, and then you start off with this, and it's like it's kind of jarring. How people say, oh, the shit was kind of jarring. Like it actually was. Like kind of like you're taken aback. Like, holy shit, man, he just did that. Like, this is how the rest of the show's gonna go. Like, maybe they could save it. I don't know. And then he cauterizes it. Like, they ain't doing shit now. You kind of wonder, because, like, at the same time, when I saw Die Hard, I was like, oh, this can't be too dope. He ain't even got no shoes on. Well, I was wrong. So, I was wrong about Rick, too. And Rick was kicking ass. And Michonne showed up. And some things happened through the show. And I be thinking sometimes things happen real conveniently. It feels like, you know, way far off somewhere. We don't know where. And like even when Fear the Walking Dead started, you gotta suspend disbelief, right? Because like, what's his name? Morgan takes off. He leaves and goes by himself. He gets across the country by himself. We just watched this group try to go from Atlanta to where was they going? To Washington D.C. to try to get to the wherever to try to solve this whole thing and stop the virus, bro. We see all this shit they going through just trying to get there as a group. But then my man Morgan, he don't die. Okay. He was able to go across the country solo, get different cars and shit, and then end up in another show. I was like, God damn, like Morgan is the dude. Okay. So he had that, but things do kind of happen conveniently throughout the show, but I ain't too upset about it. Because, like I say, some of the other shows actually cut corners. And as to where I felt like there were some things that could have been filled in more in this show, I think they did a better job. And I think the way they finished it off pretty conveniently, too. But it was, you know, it was all right the way they did it. I thought the way they finished it, like the way they finished what they were dealing with, that was a little convenient. But at the same time, I liked what we got from the ending, the reunion and all that. That was satisfying. So it was nice to see Rick Grimes come back and, just be Rick Grimes again. Like Andrew Lincoln, glad to see him back. And the Night, like they work well together. And they're able to, like, the show, it's no laughing matter. Like, you watch the original show, I don't think people smile until like season 6, 7. Like, it's crazy, So 5, season 5, I think that's when you actually saw somebody smile, you know. Man, but in this show, they take you through the different emotions, different levels. You get a little bit of everything. And that was kind of cool. And it worked too. It wasn't like forced. So it worked. So I don't know what they're going to do from this point. I'm thinking, are they going to bring everybody back together again? Is that the plan? I'm hearing Carol's supposed to be on Daryl's show next, and whatever's going to happen with that, it should just bring them all together and then make a big ass movie, like that'd be just great. So wanted to put this out here for my boy, man, Frank Maldonado Jr., man. Long live Frank Maldonado Jr. The ones who live. I thought it was a good show. Finish up that Fear the Walking Dead, and that'll be it. But I appreciate you guys listening. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I'll talk with you soon. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you already haven't. Tell a friend. And thanks for listening. I'll talk with you soon. Take it easy.
What's up, DH Jr.? This is my number. Call me back, bro. I just got out the hospital. I just wanted to let you know I'm alive. I'm all right. All right, peace.
And today is his birthday.